Ready?
You lead the way.
Backstreet's back with Billboard. Oh, yes, with Billboard. Hey, guys. How's it going? Oh, wait, we have to do all high fives.
Okay, yes.
Hi.
How's it going, you guys? Here at Wango Tango. Are you excited?
We are. It's good to be back.
We're pumped. Ready to go.
So backstage at the ACMs, we talked to Florida Georgia Line, and they were talking about how they had to learn your dance moves. So I want to know, how did you guys help them? How did that go?
I actually was in their hotel room with them for like 2 hours by myself.
The day of.
Giving them choreography lessons.
And how did that go?
So we had sound check the night before, and they're like, right after sound check was done and rehearsal, they're like, guys, we want to dance. And they're like, okay, you're throwing us a curveball here. They're like, we want to learn your dance, The Backstreet's Back. Can you teach us? So they filmed me and Nick doing it in the dressing room. Then Nick went to their hotel the very next morning. Then before we went on, we rehearsed in a shower stall in one of the dressing rooms backstage in the bowels of, what's the name of the arena? T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
And you guys killed it. So
It worked out.
But it worked out good.
Those guys pulled it off quite nicely. They pulled it off since that's not their, thing. They did a really good job.
That's awesome.
They did.
I'm curious, obviously the band One Direction, they're kind of going in their own directions right now, working on their
Not
own
One Direction anymore.
opposite directions, and working on new music. But you guys went through that at one point where you had to kind of find your own voice. What's like your advice to them about finding your own voice as a band member that's kind of going as a band that's going their separate way?
I think they're doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
doing what you're
we
doing.
kind of dabbled a little bit in like some solo stuff, but really it was always still at that time about the group, and we always wanted to come back and do. We love what what we stand for and what we represent. We love our fans, we love our music, we love performing together, and we're a family. So that's our sort of path and kind of what we've been on over the years. So what they do is a little different than us, and we wish them all the luck in the world. So
Don't leave the mothership. Mothership is important, right? And it gave them the opportunity to get there, right? So they're doing pretty good, no qualms. But don't forget the mothership.
I was just going to say with the mothership, I think for each of us, like Nick said, we've all allowed each other to spread our wings because in a group, a lot of times you can lose a little bit of, your own identity. So when you get that chance to do your own individual stuff, as long as
Individual expression.
you're able to let some creative energy out there, and when you come back and you're that much stronger, you only make the group even bigger and better.
Last question for you guys. If you could go back to like one time, Backstreet Boys, the prime time, your favorite time in that moment, what moment would you go back to?
99, 2000 area during like Millennium for me that was a pretty rad time. I mean, the day that we actually dropped the album, we got to go see Episode 1, Star Wars, sit right next to George Lucas. Like, all these amazing things happened. Shut down Times Square on TRL. All these great, memories. I mean, 24 years, man. 24 years.
Things after 24 years that you can kind of connect with and look back on. For me, I was looking at some old pictures of, I think Keith sent it over, or somebody sent it over. We were receiving our first gold record in Germany before we were even accepted in the United States. So seeing old pictures like that and seeing us, and it's interesting. We can go to some things in the past that we love.
Awesome. And you guys are going to rock the stage tonight. It's so good to see you. Group hug it out, you guys. Backstreet Boys, everyone.
Backstreet's back.